We have the Prime Minister return now. At the APEC summit, it was a big meeting between Biden and Xi. You had the PM's visit recently to Beijing. And despite all of that, we've had another incident, a close call between an Australian vessel and a Chinese PLA Navy ship.
Incredible, isn't it? So the PM believes that the agreement between Joe Biden and President Xi at APEC to re-establish military-to-military communication is a massive development. This is something the PM called for earlier in the year at a speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore. And perhaps you can see why when we saw another example over at the weekend revealed about how incidents or accidents can occur on the high seas. And without that communication, anything could develop. There was this close call between the Australian and Chinese Navy, just as talk of better relations between the US and China was going on, and after Anthony Albanese's Beijing visit. This occurred, we discovered yesterday on Tuesday. And Defence Minister Richard Marles confirmed only yesterday the incident where Australian naval divers received minor injuries after contact with sonar from a Chinese naval ship. Despite communications from the Australian to the Chinese, they were nearby. This is Richard Marles. The Australian government has expressed its serious concerns to the Chinese government following an unsafe and unprofessional interaction with the People's Liberation Army Navy destroyer. The interaction with HMAS Toowoomba occurred in international waters inside of Japan's exclusive economic zone. Australia expects all countries, including China, to operate their militaries in a professional and safe manner. Defence has for decades undertaken maritime surveillance activities in the region and does so in accordance with international law. Now, the expression of those concerns generally occurs through the Australian Embassy in Beijing. But the opposition is questioning why the government did not release detail of this incident prior to Mr Albanese's APEC trip, where he was set to see Chinese leaders.